All right, so nuance required. What are you going to find on my channel? You're going to find a lot of crazy stuff. I am a systems engineer, someone who has a remarkably coherent worldview in processing of things from physics to biology, etc. The point is, my internal world model is very accurate, which allows me to do systems level engineering. Um, I learned this not from the typical academia, etc., although I have studied those things as well. I came from the bottom of the Western, hierarchy of social scale, really poor, homeless, foster care, drug addicts. My biological mother had schizophrenia. That's the path that forced me to find coherence in the world and to constantly question whether or not I was sane, as schizophrenia is a biological, predisposition, and I was worried that I was going to spend my life living delusion, just as I saw my mother did, and how much horror that did to her. So, you're going to see a couple of the models that I already have ready to go, and I'll be putting out other ones. Is the human protocol model. We have the FOA, drivers of flourishing, right? We got the moral engine. We've got the four buckets, which is a really easy way to explain economics and how they operate through like a moral lens. Um, Almost everything that I do is going to be based around reducing suffering for humanity, increasing human flourishing. That's my drive, my purpose, etc. I have four children. I've worked for nonprofits my whole life. I struggled as a single parent, going to college, working two jobs. Um, I know exactly what it's like to be at the bottom of poorly designed systems. I know what the cost is. And so do a lot of you. People see far more than they give themselves credit to. The issue is that we believe the narratives that we're told. We're told this is what society decided. This is just how it is. Other people tried to fix it and they couldn't. So why do you think you could? None of these are valid reasons not to try to fix broken and misaligned systems. So I have dedicated my life to this. I'm very proud of the work that I've been able to put together. I do everything the best I can to make it as an academic papers, right? Things that can be argued against or for in a good faith manner, and have the ability to gain traction in academia, which therefore educates the next group of people, right? I heavily use AI as I'm an autodidact, right? So I'm self-taught. My formal education is in business and physical education, not really the areas you would expect, right? But I've studied the ideas of coherence my entire life, religions, philosophies, etc., because it's so hard when you're in a situation growing up where nothing ever seems to make sense. Everyone's decisions around you seem to lead to suffering, and you hear their excuses and their reasons for it, but it never makes any sense, right? Um, when you live in desperation, when you lack power within a system, you tend to not take advantage of the agency that you have, right? And what we have as humans is something that biological animals do not have, right? We're going to explore a lot of like Friston's principles with the free energy principle. We're going to explore a lot of Jungian archetype pieces. Um, I take a lot of desperate domains that seem to me to be just very overlapping, like almost obviously, and I'm hoping to be able to present them in a way where you are also able to see that these things are pretty obvious and there's nothing special about me, etc. I just suffered enough and didn't give up to be gifted the coherence of not just the, armchair psychology, or sorry, philosophy that a lot of people in the ivory towers have, where they can judge the lower class, etc. I lived. I was the lower class. I still am working my way up that system, but I've provided stability, and when you look at my life's journey, it's nothing short of a miracle, right? So, um, not a miracle in some spiritual sense, but just statistically an anomaly, right? And I want to create more statistical anomalies. I want to teach the methods that I was able to use to people, hopefully when they're younger, to be able to get out of these types of situations. Um, the amount of control we have as the beneficiaries or the opposite of beneficiaries of corrupt systems is limited. So it's very important to expend your energy in the correct directions, right? So all of my work focuses on outcomes, focuses on the lever points that you can actually control. This is why you see a lot of philosophies like Stoicism that do very well based on outcomes, because you really need to focus on the things that you can control. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't need to overhaul systems, etc., but that is a slower process, and it needs to be proven like scientifically from the ground up if it's going to be accepted, right? Because people who have power do not want power to be taken away, and if you just start pointing fingers and names and playing identity politics, you're going to fall directly into the zero sum game that everyone's playing right now, right? If your system is not able to work regardless of the actors, race, ethnicity, etc., a proper system works for everyone within a system. That is how we build systems, etc. That's how laws work, etc. Complete applicability, fairness, auditability. These are the pieces of system engineering that I'm hoping to bring to wider audiences, etc. Um, that's really it. So I hope you stick around. I hope you enjoy it, and I don't expect you to believe the things I say. Look everything up yourself. Use your own, ability to create logic, and please always keep using volitional audit. Your ability to look at your own worldviews and your own systems of ideas and compare them to outcomes and decide whether or not they truly are working in your best interest for flourishing.